All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're back with the Arcade Tokens podcast. As we said, these are the catch-up episodes. We have been, for those that didn't catch the first episode, we took a little work hiatus, and so we're back trying to get into the arcade token fashion, all that gaming fashion. We're creating that content that you love. So if you saw the last episode, we were talking about the shit stain that is Tampa. But there was a silver lining in Tampa, which is, of course, we got to see Wrestlemania in person. One of, I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, but one of the first live in-person events to happen, if I'm correct, right? Nobody else has been able to
Super Bowl. Super Bowl happened first.
Okay. Well, people at the Super Bowl?
Yeah, people were there.
Okay. Well, then, we'll say the real stuff you want to go to. WrestleMania. We were there. How were y'all feeling, first of all, to be just back in an arena, like, not full of people because you only can do it half capacity, but to be in an arena with people?
Oh, I prefer it.
Yeah.
I prefer half capacity. Let's keep half capacity going. Yes. Oh, more people. You're not elbow to elbow with somebody. The energy is just the same because everybody's screaming and have good energy. It doesn't have to be elbow to elbow, butt to dick on every, I hate those seats are so close together. The person in front of you is like right there. So I like it better like this. And what people don't realize is that when it's half capacity, all the lines in the like just the stadium part are way like shorter too. Like it's not all about the energy on outside. It's like you can go pop somewhere, get some super overcharged beer or overcharged food real quick, and then come back. It's not like in LA you gotta sacrifice a whole quarter. You have to be like, I'm thirsty, I'ma just miss the third quarter. But kind of just pop in and pop out. So I liked it. And then the show itself was amazing. I was just annoying the whole time because I didn't know anybody.
Give it another whirl, Cleo. Give it another whirl. That's right. We did. But you're right. And just like even to equate that for those people like wrestling terms, like literally, we went to go grab some drinks at the concession stand, and the only thing we missed was Big E's entrance. That was it. Like, that's the only thing we missed. We still got to see the entire match, Apollo come out and stuff like that. So just like to Pat's point, like, anywhere else, we probably would have missed 2 whole matches and probably would have been the main event by the time we got back. But just like you said, it's so better when it's just half. It's so cool. And it's just like, like you said, you don't have to worry about stuff. Pat said it all. But yes, the show was amazing. The show was absolutely amazing. But Cleo, before we jump into it, I still want to get your reaction of being, especially for you, who has, you visit those more frequently than any of us. So for yourself, it's almost kind of like asking, a WWE superstar, how did it feel to be back with the WWE universe?
It felt amazing, man. WrestleMania last year, due to the pandemic, everyone was in a studio. So it was the first WrestleMania in a studio, and it just, look, they did what they could. They adapted the best they could, but this was WrestleMania. This is the show of the shows. So to not have the crowd there, to not have the fireworks and the over-the-top antics being pulled, it definitely took away from the experience on last year. But to be in the arena with other fans, for Vince to come out on day one and really thank the fans for being there, like, that was a moment, man. And to see the superstars, even them, like, legit having a moment and crying to see people out there in the rain, excited to see them do their thing that they love to do. It was a really great moment, man. And people from all over the world flew, and it was us and people from everywhere. They had to come see Mania. You had to be there for it. So to be there at the first post-quarantine WrestleMania, I think we got to put that on a feather in our cap for that, bro. That's dope.
Oh yeah,
that was dope.
Hey, hit the Rage of Aries to move on.
Bet.
That's the L3 archery. Boom. There you go.
Yeah, man, it was amazing, man. Just like you said, bro, it was crazy too because of everything that built and led up to it that seemed like it wasn't gonna happen. Like, Cleo had mentioned in the previous episode, like, it consistently kept raining. Tampa is known to be like the thunderstorm city and stuff like that. And so, like Cleo said, before we even got there, they were saying like people that were there had to go inside to like where the concession stands at, so this storm could pass. And then as Cleo mentioned, like the first 10 minutes after like Vince had came, welcomed everybody and stuff, the fans went back, they had started, it was like, welcome to WrestleMania. Please everyone go inside as a lightning storm is a coming. And I'm like, wait, what?
Cover the stadium.
Yeah, so it was like, yeah, that's what we thought. And it's just like, if it's the Thunder State, why not cover the stadium? But it didn't stop anything. Like, we just had to wait for 30 minutes. And I think, you know, like for us, like being there, you know, it is a completely different experience than you for watching at home. Because, you know, like for myself, I went and watched it back on the cock as it's on, and saw like they were doing the interviews and stuff. What?
What'd you say?
Oh, I was watching the WWE WrestleMania. You can watch it on the cock now. It streams on there.
Okay. All right.
You know, I'm not doing it, Pat.
You could watch it off of cock as well. Okay.
Oh man! For those that don't know, that is the Peacock app. I don't know why they named it that, but that's what they decided. It's named NBC streaming service. But I did watch it on Peacock to see what they were seeing during those times, and so it was like, you know, they did a great job of altering everything and stuff like that they needed before the show started. Like everybody like doing like, you know, like him, the first match that we saw was with Bobby Lashley and like Drew, them two like bumping heads about to go at it before the match even starts. But it was like nothing stopped it. Like, you know, like the rain cleared up. They were like, let's go back out, and we still got to experience WrestleMania in all its fashion. Fireworks, telling Pat who's who, which person is gonna do this, why this person is doing this stuff, and just seeing him though just become a huge fan of it just from everything that he saw. We got to see I think like what I want to ask next is just like highlights that we had from those, at least like 3 highlights that y'all had. I'll start off with my first one, and I just got to say is,
Will, you about to take over playing?
Yeah, take over.
Yeah, I'll take over.
My bad.
Would be when the NWO came out for Hall of Fame, and just to hear that theme music in the ring.
Even though Hulk Hogan was being booed and it was edited out.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, so I don't know if that's a highlight for you, Pat, but you want to explain that one? Because you really enjoyed that for some reason.
Oh, no, that was great. You know, as if you haven't been in the news of old racist wrestlers, he dropped the N-bomb, referred to us as in a not so pleasant light, and people did not really pull up with the forgiveness. So when he came out, every time he talked, I guess they shortened his whole part, because it was nothing but boos, and then cheers when the other guy talked, and then boos when he talked. So, and then everybody at home that I told that to, they said that they was completely edited out. So movie magic, Hollywood.
Oh yeah,
they protected Hogan like a mug, bro. But yeah, we were in the arenas, ladies and gentlemen, and every time Hogan brought that microphone up to his lips to talk, it was nothing but boos in that arena. Ooh. And it's just crazy because Hogan is a legend. He's iconic within the WWE universe for the things that he's given to the business. But times have changed so much in his time, in his life, that he's getting booed in his hometown of Tampa. And which also, what's the guy who Titus O'Neil was the other person who came out with Hogan, who's also from Tampa. So it was just that parallel of seeing a black man up there getting cheered like a motherfucker.
I didn't know that. I didn't know he was from Tampa.
He was from Tampa.
Oh, that makes it so much more beautiful.
Right?
Oh, yeah. And then he had just won like the award, the Warrior Award. That's like one of their most prestigious awards in WWE for like humanitarianship. So to win that and have WrestleMania in his hometown.
Yeah.
Oh, I would have giggled to myself every time I wasn't talking, just like boo. And then yeah.
What if a show egged that on? I'd have been like Tampa.
I will say, yeah, that was a great part about Tampa. You know, the people in Tampa were actually great. It was really just like the weather and the situations and the food, but I don't know. It was definitely a sweet moment to see. It was kind of bittersweet because like when he was by himself, we were booing him, but when he was MWO, we had to be like, oh, all right.
Oh yeah, we had our wolves up.
Wow.
And they all came out. Kevin Nash, Scott Hall, Hogan, like that was the NWO. X-Pac walked. That was really cool to see that. Rob Van Dam went into the Hall of Fame as well. Kane went into the Hall of Fame this year as well.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so the NWO coming out for sure, a memorable moment to be a part of. I gotta give it Bad Bunny's match, man.
Yeah. My third. Yep.
Bad Bunny's match was a real spectacle. It was the show. It stole the show on the first night because no one expected for this kid from Puerto Rico, who's the biggest, one of the biggest Latin artists in the world, to get into that WWE ring and put on a match, like a real WWE match with certain beats, certain moments, selling the hits, going for finishers that real wrestlers only do. Right. Him doing a sunset flip on the outside of the ring against John Morrison was insane. I didn't expect to see that. His intro was dope. His whole gear looked amazing. The fact that it's tied into him going on tour for the world tour, the bus he pulled, the 18-wheeler he pulled up in, it was so dope. I got it. Me and Pat actually ended up running into the Miz a little bit later on that night at the hotel, and Miz was hyped. Miz was like, "We sold the show. We had the match of the night," and he was right. They did.
That's great.
They did indeed, man. Another one too, Bianca Belair and Sasha Banks.
Yep.
Sasha Banks and them tearing it up, man. Main event first night, 2 black women to main event Wrestlemania to main event for a title, and they did not disappoint. Bianca Belair taking that win, man. It was, again, just like everything else stacked on top of just the first this, first that, first this, and just for us to be able to see that eye to eye. And then too, like first night for us, like another thing I love was that we were there in a spot that we appreciated, wasn't the best, and then second night got to see an even better spot in the place and got to witness night 2 even better.
Right.
Yeah.
That was big. Yeah, that would be you guys basically listed my third. Like third was definitely Bad Bunny. Second is for sure Sasha Banks versus who? What was the other girl's name?
Bianca Belair.
Bianca Belair. And then I gotta give number one WrestleMania moment. I don't know. I feel like it had to go to the very first night when what's his face? Ah, damn it. I don't know their name.
That's your WrestleMania moment right there.
Right. Yeah, that's it.
Oh, damn. I forgot about that. I totally spaced that. Edge coming out and doing the face, which I use for memes almost exclusively. That was great. But no, my WrestleMania moment was actually going to their hotel and hanging out with some of them. I had no idea how deeply invested and deeply like into the culture Cleo is. Like everybody knew Cleo first, as opposed to him like, yo, what's up? So I don't know the names. I'm sorry. I'd be like super embarrassing in these scenarios, but like, yeah, there was like a couple scenarios where we were just hanging out with them, drinking with them, and chatting with them, and like those dudes are gigantic, like ridiculous. What's the old boy's name? The guy who came from being the dude's personal guard.
Omos.
Yeah.
Huge.
His match was crazy too.
Yes.
Yeah. So we're kicking it with the wrestlers. So it's Omos is there, Ricochet is there, Montez Ford, Andrew Dawkins, but they're getting ready to play Uno, right? And they're about a game in, and it's getting a little heated, and out of nowhere, Shane McMahon walks.
Oh, that
up.
was great.
Pat, what Shane say, bro?
They were playing Uno, just chopping it up. I don't even see anybody bet with Uno, but Shane McMahon walks up and it's like, y'all got money on it? Y'all got money on it? Let's play money. And everybody just went dead quiet. It was like, ain't nobody trying to match money with you, sir. McMahon money? You have McMoney? I don't want your McMoney, sir. We have poor black money over here. That's it. LA okay money.
Bruh, that was such a great moment. Braun Strowman was down there with us. Bobby Lashley was down there with us. Miz. Man, it was great just to be around those guys and to see them in a sense. Montez Ford and the Street Profits, which is Montez Ford and Dawkins. They show love immediately. So to just be around, just chilling with those guys and enjoying the show. Big shout out to the homie Mario, who takes care of us every time WWE comes to town. And yeah, man, big shout out to Pete too, man. My dude. Oh, Pete and Vlad. We met Vlad. We met the guy who takes care of the music aspect of the WWE
that's right.
now.
Oh, word?
Yeah.
I love his new taste in music, man.
Yeah. He's killing it, and shout out to Pete, man. So we'll see, man. We crossing boundaries, man. I do think we will see the arcade tokens pop up in WWE programming soon. I think it's coming.
So I gotta ask. I mean, this is more a question for Will and Cleo. How you feeling about Roman Reigns' new intro music?
I like it.
Okay.
I like it. Okay. I ain't mad at it. Like it fits him. It fits that stoicness that's him now. I give it to him.
It's the last remnants of the Shield, right?
I wish it would have been at WrestleMania though. But also too, I understand because Daniel Bryan is kind of responsible for shaping Roman's career. Like the matches he had with him is like unforgettable. That
Fastlane match is an iconic one when I think of Roman and Daniel. So I'm good with the new intro song. Excuse me, his new theme song. Yeah. And you know, we'll see where they take it from here, man. That was one of the last remnants of the Shield. You know, with Dean Ambrose now gone to AEW, with Seth and his whole Messiah gimmick now, the Shield is now kind of just being left to the side for them one day to pull it out of the dirt and have that moment again with all of them vested up. But who else had a great match on the second night?
That's what I was gonna say for that. Who you just mentioned before I get into mine? Seth. Seth showed, and I'll still state this now after watching WrestleMania, Seth Rollins is the best in the world. Seth Rollins is the best wrestler in the world. Hey, listen, anybody want to argue that? You can bring Kenny Omega, you can bring whoever you want. WrestleMania, I saw it in person. That man was showing off. He know he got it and can do it with anybody. That man is the best in the world.
Facts.
Busting out new moves you ain't never seen him do. Like this dude did a 630 spin off of the top rope for no reason.
No reason.
630? Goddamn.
Seth is that guy, bro. I've always been a Seth Rollins fan, and you know, he's on his heel run right now. So yeah, the fact that he had the match with Cesaro, and Cesaro is a guy who's been in the business for a long time. That was his. How long has Cesaro been in the business? I want to say almost 10 plus years now, maybe.
10 plus years at least.
10 plus years, and that was his first ever singles WrestleMania match.
Yeah.
That was insane to me, but that just proved that, hey, you got to be in the business, and it comes. Some may get it, some may not.
Yep. It's cool. It's cool to see though that's a thing that's happening now for them. Same thing with Bobby Lashley, like 15 years waiting, and it's finally at the top of the mountain and stuff like that. So it's just like showing that, like, yo, if this is what you want to do and this is what you're meant to be, this is where you'll be. So, and hopefully, you know, if you're keeping up with the WWE, Cesaro will most likely get a chance at that Universal title real soon. So, and just speaking of that Universal title, I would have to say that was my highlight, not match-wise, just like, you know, of course, the two of y'all know me and know about my, you know, and stuff in person. So to see how that match came about and to see that in person for me and these other folks that I know, that was probably one of my top moments for myself.
Seeing Edge come out, I remember where I was in New York when he came back and debuted at Royal Rumble, and I marked out. I couldn't believe that I just heard "You Think You Know Me," and to hear "You Think You Know Me" in the arenas. Did you
hear it, or were you like me? Because when it played, I didn't process what was happening. I was like, wait, who is this? Like for me, like it went out of my head that it could ever happen.
Yeah.
And then to see him, like you said, to see him run out, and I'm like. But to hear it,
he put on a match, bro. He put on a banger. That's what. It's
How old is he?
Oh my God, Edge
he
damn
near 50. I think 40? Like 50, 47.
Yeah,
maybe
he
46.
He up there, bro. Let me look it up right now. But Edge, it's so good to see those veterans be able to come back, right, and then be able to do a match with their current superstars, and it just be not a nostalgic act. Like, no, Edge is in there really going at it. And this was the two. Yo, what about the double spear? We wanted to see that spot for years, Will, and they went.
Oh, it happened, right?
Yeah, two guys whose finisher is a spear, boom, and knocked each other off.
We've been waiting to see someone do that.
Yeah, Roman and Goldberg could have pulled that off. They didn't do it. Nope. So to see Edge really have that moment was dope to me.
Yeah, man. He was, like you said, bro, he held nothing back. Like it was that, like he said, it was like watching one of these new age wrestlers wrestle with other new age wrestlers. And so like even to do that and to still like beautifully, like, you know, if you know the business, to beautifully put over Roman Reigns as to show like, yo, bro, like letting y'all know who and you know, for most people that don't see it in the schematics of that, like, and that was one thing I think too, I thought was also kind of a highlight was for us that kind of just wasn't just in WrestleMania, but just during Tampa in general, was just the interest that Pat took from behind the scenes of wrestling, and just like how intrigued he was to hear all of this stuff, and just like, this is the stuff they need to tell us about, like to see like our favorite underdog, one of our favorite past people both go under to show like, yo, this is the top dog, this is the person that they are about to invest in for the next couple of years, so get ready for it.
Yeah, brother. Oh, can we talk about, I mean, we don't gotta really touch on it, but we will because we were in the building. Let's talk about the Kevin Owens Sami Zayn match with special guest Logan Paul. I totally forgot he was there.
That's true.
As you should.
Yeah, so Logan Paul gets invited to Mania to, you know, to do reactions pretty much. The camera was on him at ringside as Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn are having their match, and of course the arena's all saying F Logan Paul and boo and you suck. And then the match ends and he walks into the middle of the ring and he catches a stunner from Kevin Owens. He went on his podcast, I think a week later, and talked about how Kevin really hit him with a stunner. Like he didn't ease up, he didn't give it to him lightly. Like, nah, Logan says he walked back there like stunned, like, oh, okay. Yeah. I can't, y'all really wanted to do me like that.
Oh yeah. I mean, but Kevin's been known for that though. Like Kevin has been known to not hold back with that stuff. This is like, yo, like there's always been this thing about celebrities and how they feel in the ring, like wrestling is fake. And it's like, okay, bro, like there's like you and what you know what I love about you telling that story though, Cleo, is you see the one side and the other side of that. So you see two celebrities that we saw at WrestleMania, one who don't take it seriously and just want to be here for a bag, and then another one is like, yo, I'm a true fan, I appreciate the art of this, and I'm gonna take every portion of this serious. And that was in Bad Bunny and Logan Paul. But you've seen Kevin Owens do that. Like that's why Machine Gun Kelly tried to sue him when he threw him through that table. It's like, yo, like, but it's again, y'all think this is just like, oh, I can come do this stuff, and like some people don't take kindly to that. And if I'm just being honest, Logan Paul was not needed for the Kevin Owens Sami Zayn match. Like their rivalry is always good enough for us to see it any pay-per-view, SmackDown, Raw, or NXT. You don't need to add extra for us to see that. Because for me, I think that is where the chant "Fight Forever" was born.
Yeah. These guys literally have already been fighting forever. Like they've wrestled each other in the indie scene for 15 plus years at this point. Let's not forget when Kevin Owens looked John Cena in the eyes and said, no. You don't get to tell me how to do this. I've been doing this longer than you. And I'm like, oh, he's right. He's right. And Mania was incredible. I loved it, both night one and night two, and to be there with you guys was something really special, man. And I'm glad that we just pulled the trigger on it. And guys, you got to understand, everyone watching, everyone listening, this was such a moment that just happened. And we just thought about it, like, you want to go to Mania? I want to go to Mania. You want to go to Mania? I want to go to Mania. Do you want to go to Mania? I want to go to Mania. We're going to Mania. And that was it. Tickets were bought, things were booked, and we was out. We did it.
That just got to be the new plan, because you already know, like, long-term planning for trips, they just fall apart somehow. But the in the moment stuff, just like, trying to do this, let's do it. Like, I feel like that's part of the story too.
Well, I think too, it lined up for us because, like, you know, me and Cleo had always talked about, like, yo, like, you know, we wanted to 3P of WrestleMania, which, you know, it's gonna be Tampa, Dallas, and LA. You know, so like when we hit the pandemic, and it was like, dang man, we gonna miss Tampa, you know, because of the first thing. And so for them to be doing it for a second time and it just lining up for what we were already like trying to do for the first one, it was like, yo, it just everything lined up perfect for it to happen. And like you said, by just going for it.
I just want to bring up the one fake out, and then we can move on from there.
Yeah.
We're at Mania. Pat sees Stone Cold Skull come on the screen, and he hears the glass break. And Pat, without hesitation, camera in hand, goes, "No!" Oh, and sits back down.
Apparently, that's just something that they do at these things, because it didn't seem like there was a lot. I heard like 4 other groups scream. It wasn't like an audience thing. It was just the people like me who were sort of auditing. That was so funny. That sucked. Because it was WrestleMania. I thought he'd come say what's up.
But it's just the way you got up. You was just sitting there and you just, yo!
And it was just promo. It was just a simple Stone Cold promo for the next Mania night, man. It was really good to see.
They shouldn't
Pat
do it like
in
that
setting.
They should start with, "Hey, I'm Stone Cold, and this is fake." Some bull.
Oh, I can't hear you, Will. Your mic's out, brother.
Some bull.
Yeah, man. But it was fun nonetheless. And I'm glad we pulled the trigger and just went for it, man. And what was really great is even seeing everyone's reactions to us being there, Pat. Like, that was really cool to interact with people who have watched our content, people who knew who we were in the city and were surprised that we were there. And then even the folks on social media, man, you guys, you know, showed a lot of love to us for us to be at Mania. Like, you guys were shocked that we were there, but no, we went and we had a great damn time.
Yeah, that was, Tampa was, you know, we poke fun at it because the experience around it was just hilarious. It's so memorable, you know what I mean? Like, so memorable. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to going to another wrestling event. Like, when's the next one? What city is it in? Like,
year, bro, Dallas.
Next year.
I thought you said WrestleMania. No, I'm saying, like, don't they have like Summer Slams and Table Fests?
Oh yeah, man.
Ladder Falls, all that.
We can do SummerSlam. Survivor Series is a good one to always see. Yeah.
I'm gonna see. We'll look up when the next one's coming back to LA, man. But you know, we'll be there. We'll for sure be there in the city.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, this has been another episode of the Arcade Tokens podcast. We're so glad that we got to share our WrestleMania experience with you. As I've said before, you're going to see a couple of these episodes. These are the catch-up episodes for us to just kind of catch up with everything that has been going on. So make sure you tune in, because the next thing we're getting into, Mortal Kombat, and of course, video games. Everything that's been going on video game-wise. We're going to be talking about Mortal Kombat, the movie. Did we like it? Did we not like it? I'm pointing at somebody in particularly because I want to know his term that he's using in the sense. And also, too, some other games that we're going to be having to talk about gaming-wise. Resident Evil, Breath of the Wild coming to Xbox.
We don't have to talk about that.
Let's talk about it.
Definitely talk about it.
No, we need to talk about that.
We need to talk about it. So you're going to definitely want to tune into the next episode of the Arcade Tokens podcast. And of course, that drops every Wednesday on our YouTube and of course on our audio streams as well on all platforms for podcasts. We have been the Arcade Tokens. I'm the anomaly Will Ferro.
Cleo Thomas, I give Mr. Slick Living.
I'm Patrick Cloud.
And as always, shout out to the Game Genie, Cathadius, and Kalos Media, always keeping us connected with the most up-to-date and the future of gaming, whether it be retro or today. And we will catch you next time.